Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Chakra Diva Show. My name is Amber Poole. I am your host and known as the Chakra Diva. You can always find me at thechakradiva.com. So I wanted to pull out some cards because today is September 2nd. It is the beginning of the new month. And I just want to pull out what is the energy around us right now. And then I want to talk to you about the afterlife. I said it because I've had so many readings this week. I definitely want to give a little reading about what to expect, like what happens on the other side. So let's start first by pulling out a wonderful card. You always hit your cards 3 times to knock your energy into them. And then we shuffle. What is the energy surrounding the collective at this time? So that means that it would include you. And if this resonates with you, then this is absolutely one of your cards. So collectively, what is the energy around? Okay, thank you so much. All right. Yes, it is. The card that came out is the base chakra, which is also known as your root chakra. Oh my goodness, this is such a huge card because this is all about the foundation. It's about having a strong, solid foundation to build everything else upon. So when you're thinking about the world collectively, I almost think about, like the Leaning Tower right now, or the Tower card in tarot, as it's crumbling and crashing. And in many ways, it does do that. And we do that so that we can rebuild, so that we can put on a new perspective, a new idea, something that's filled with light, because through the darkness, there is the light that we shine through. And this card, the base chakra, is about having a strong foundation. It's about knowing that you are safe, that you are secure, that you have the right to be here. And it says on this card, choose only positive thoughts to describe your home, your career, and finances as your words determine your outcome. So these are all things around you supporting you. So if you are not feeling supportive right now, if you feel like the world is crumbling, then I want you just to take a moment and sit down into your root chakra, what is located at the bottom of your base, and just like breathe into it and allow the energy to come down, connect into your legs and into the ground. And it helps you pull your energy together, because we don't want to have our energy in too many places. Even today, I was so scattered. There were so many things that I was doing today that I had to keep it together. And I just took a second to sit down. I put my timer on for 10 minutes, but it only took me 3. And I said, I call in all my energy that's around me, because it felt like I was living in front of my body. So in my auric field on the outside of me, and not in the present moment. I was so scattered of things I had to do, what was next. And I run a very tight schedule that I felt very overwhelmed today. So it took me 3 minutes to gather into my root chakra and just ground. So if you're feeling scattered and all over the place, know that you are not alone. Know that it's in with the collective, and to remember to just ground into your base chakra. So I'm going to give you a quick introduction to who I am, and then we're going to talk about spirits on the other side. So my name is Amber Poole. I am a shamanic energy healer, practitioner. I love crystals. I work with crystals all the time. I'm a psychic. I'm a medium. I'm a lot of things just rolled into one. And I had my practice for the past 10 years on energy healing and on mediumship, which is why I want to discuss with you about just transitioning and what's on the other side and how does this work. I've had a lot of sessions this week over newly transitioned people. So in the past 2 months, past 5 months, 6 months, and they're coming through really, really clearly with fantastic communication. And I believe that this is because we all can see through dimensions. So, I used to think that everybody goes up. Remember why am I drawing a blank on the movie? Hold on. I got skills. They're multiplying. What is that? Oh my goodness. Grease. Yes. Okay. Grease. All right. So we're watching Grease, and there's staircase going up, right? And you're going up. And I used to think that that's where we all go. We go up, right? Or we go down. And then as a child, I would start to stare into the darkness. Now, this is going to sound creepy, but if you get really, really quiet and you're looking into the darkness, you'll start to see what I used to think were atoms, right? So me as a child, and they're colorful. So you will see red, you will see blue. They're different colors. So you're looking into like in between the air. You're looking at the air, but not directly at it. And you see these little dots start to form. And if you look at these dots long enough, you will actually see a formation. And this formation can be people, spirits when you're looking into dimension. So that's the easiest way to describe it. It's not up, it's not down. We're all here together. If you talk to any shaman, they all say that our timelines are running at the same time. So previous lives, future lives, now life, and you can collectively go back in any point of quote time and grab the information that you need. So when you are staring into this darkness or into the void, you're actually looking into different dimensions, which is really, really neat. We are just starting to see all of this on a new level. So, mediumship was really taboo. You shouldn't do that. There's nothing in my body that said I wanted to be a medium. Let me tell you. I was executive assistant. I was fine. I was going to work. I was my little typewriter girl, and life was good, right? And then the doors just open. And when the doors open, it's hard to close them again to the realities and the things around you. So anyhow, this week I've had just a lot of calls that really hit home for me because people don't know what's on the other side. And I only know from hearing from the spirits on the other side what's going on over there. So when I connect in with a spirit, the first thing I usually connect in with is the good times. And it doesn't matter how tragic the ending was. They had a whole life that they probably had a lot of good times with. So when I'm connecting in with a client, they often tell me about the good times and things that make you laugh. Like it doesn't have to be, these extravagant things that were the most funniest or anything like that. Like one dad had on cowboy hat. He kept coming through and putting his hands on his hips, and it made the daughter laugh. And she's like, yes, that is my dad. Like that was a good image. That was a good time. Or the guy that I had tonight just had so much charisma and he had such a beautiful smile on his face that he just wanted to remind the happiness of who he was, the essence of who he was. So when I connect in with the spirit, they usually tell me about the good times that we forget. And we forget about these good times because we're in a period of grief and loss. So know that there's a lot of good times that they remember. And we in this physical world get very, very stuck on the negative. A lot of it has to do with our just programming in our mind. When one negative thought happens, then it spirals another negative thought and another negative thought. So you want to stay positive, right? And that's what spirits bring us. They bring us the good times that they had or the things that they can relate to that's going to make the person, the sitter, smile. They also mention like the stuff that we do to beat ourselves up with. Okay. So don't think that we are getting away with anything about that. They also can see things in a different perspective or in a lighter perspective on the other side. So it's not like the physical world here. It's almost like a third reality, like looking down. So when you're reading a book and he said, she went to her mom and she did this, instead of I experienced it from a daughter's perspective, you're experiencing it from a different perspective. That's how souls seem to communicate to me, more of like the overall big thing. I feel like sometimes in Earth, we get really stuck into our ego and this earth-based dense realm. And then they're here to say, no, you guys are a spirit and you came into a body. I'm a spirit. This is the lessons I had to learn. And it's not as heavy. So when I'm talking to a spirit on the other side, it doesn't matter how they crossed over. A lot of times they have a lot of good things to say as well. The majority of them do. And they also don't want to see the other person go through a grieving process or anything that's negative or lower to harm their vibration. So it's also said that when we hold on to negative feelings or negative experiences, they manifest into your physical body. As a healer, when I scan people and I'm going through their body, I sense emotions first. And I also hear what they may be thinking or they may be hearing. So I could be like in a solar plexus and I see the person crying. And then I will say, I see the image of you crying. Have you cried a lot lately? Well, yes. And then I will hear their thought behind it. So I am not, as much as I would like to think that I'm very special, I'm not as special as everybody else because everybody else has gifts too, right? So as we start to go into the 5D, which is coming from our heart, we're going to open up and expand love and light, and our senses are going to be different. They're not going to be so, your eyes and your ears, they're going to be on a different level, and we're all opening up right now. I think our biggest challenge, it's not knowing that there's something more to life in our psychic or intuitive senses. It's trusting them. It's saying, okay, you know what? I feel like somebody's around me and I feel these bumps on my arm, like there's somebody's present here. Or like my dad is crossed over. He died in 2014 and I feel his energy come in. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. All of a sudden I feel his presence and I'm like, oh, my dad is with me. Or a song comes on. These are not, like coincidences. This is synchronicity. And this is also trusting the process. I think we were told to shut down our gifts and not to trust it. And that's why we all have such a hard time opening up and expanding. So when you are trusting yourself, right, and you're opening and you're reading for the other side or you're gathering in information from the other side, they will come through your senses. They also want to talk about, as I said earlier, your deepest concerns, like what's bothering you, so it doesn't manifest in the physical body. So if there's a lot of hurt or there's a lot of grief, we can go down a pattern that will show up in our physical body. My favorite time, I was blindfolded and doing a workshop, so I couldn't see anybody. So I know a lot of people in our town, and I didn't want to know who anybody was. So one person would come up and just stand in front of me and I would take my hand and scan them. And as I scanned this woman on her hip, I said, okay, I feel a lot of dense energy. And she said, yes, my hip's really bothering me. And I said, you know what? I'm really angry at my son. So then the emotion comes in and she didn't say anything. And then I said, he needs to leave, which is the thought process, because that's usually how I get information. It's a feeling and then a thought. And she said, yes, Amber, I am so mad that my son is 30 some years old and he's still living in my house and he hasn't left. So what happened is this thought process, this emotion has actually absorbed into her body and it's manifested onto her physical body. And I happen to find the imprint of it. So people on the other side, deceased people on the other side, they kind of see these imprints because it's all vibrational. And they will let me know, hey, you can't hold on to the sadness. You can't hold on to the judgment or the fear or the anger, because if you do, this is the consequence. Sometimes when we know it up front, we fix it. Other times, we're like people of creatures and we like habits and we don't fix it because we're like, yeah, I want to walk that path. So, all right. So they tell me about that stuff. People on the other side elect to have us, right? There's soul contracts. So before they come down here to this beautiful, wonderful world, they choose who's going to be their soul family, who they're going to have a relationship with, so that they can learn lessons, develop lessons, because it's making them whole again, or healing themselves, or learning how to relate to others. Remember, we're all connected together. So you may pick somebody who has a horrible experience, or you might, call the ex-boyfriend over and over because there's something in it that your soul needs learning. So we all choose each other. And in the end, we're all, hopefully, fingers crossed, going to go back home to each other, which is always free will and a choice as well. So people on the other side, when they come down here, we chose them. So like my kids, my husband, I'm like, oh, thank you so much for choosing me. What lessons can I teach you? What lessons can you teach me? Because we're here to help each other grow. And finally, you will also know that when they are on the other side, as I said, they don't go up, they don't go down. They're usually right here. So if you are missing somebody tonight, if there is grief in your heart, or you feel like you lost somebody, or you just want to connect and talk with somebody, like I said, I always talk to my dad, who's on the other side. you can start asking for signs, start amping up the communication, because when you amp up the communication, it makes it easier. And it also helps heal your heart, because when they are on the other side, then they want to still communicate with us. They're still helping us. They're still connecting in with us. It might be that, like tonight, this soul told me that it's going to go through another person's soul, his son, so that you can see that they're together, right? So that you can experience that they are here. So souls do not go away. They don't go far from you. Opening up your communication, speaking with them, asking for a sign, and that way you can keep the communication together. So I just want to send you guys so much love. If there's somebody that you're missing tonight or someone that you're grieving, know that they're right here next to you, and just say hello and start your line of communication. All right, Miss Kathy, I'm going to take a call and do a reading tonight. Kathy from Montana, hello. Are you here? Hello. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much for being here tonight. What can I help you with?
Oh, I just have a couple of problems that are bothering me, and just hoping somebody could help me straighten them out.
Okay. Hold on for one moment. I'm gathering in your spirit team. That's what I call them, to come close to you. And I keep hearing to know that you are not alone, and that is important to you. Can you tell me about your parents?
I have family. I don't have any friends.
Okay. Is your parents still living here, or they crossed over on the other side?
My mother's crossed over. My father's still alive.
Still here. Okay. All right. And I also want to do like the challenge. And what question do you have? Oh.
Is the person that I have gotten involved with, he's a real person? Is he not an imposter?
Is he not an imposter? Oh, okay. Okay. And I also want advice. I'm pulling cards out for you right now.
I can hear it.
Yeah, I'm shuffling. I asked what your soul is learning right now. And one of the lessons is just to surrender and not feel like you have to control everything, that it needs to go a certain way, or that things need to be, like you have to hold on tight to things. And I also feel like there's, what came out was regret of not being able to change the past as well, which also affects judgment for going into the future with relationships as well. This card, judgment card. All right. So her new one, is he an imposter? Is this an internet thing?
Pardon me?
Did you meet him on the internet?
Yes.
Okay. I almost feel like I'm taking advantage of, right? I almost feel like I'm taking advantage of. I almost feel like I want to go to the grocery store. I want to go out, and I actually want to meet somebody, because I'm trying to read his energy, but I almost feel like there's someone else that I'm trying to meet. Because you said I have so many questions around it.
Yes.
Did you say oh?
Pardon me?
I didn't hear what you just said.
Oh, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Oh. Okay. I said I feel like
what question you asked me?
I didn't ask you a question at all. I feel like I'm going to walk out. Like I need to go to the grocery store. I need to go out somewhere in a public place and find a relationship around it. And not be, I don't want to say stuck behind, but I almost feel like I'm behind in on myself, like I'm hiding behind the computer, and I need to open up myself and actually, I hate to say this to you, get outside and make connections. And then you said, your soul said, but it's hard to do that. It's hard to do that.
Yes.
Okay. And a big factor with you is through trust. And I almost feel like that's from the past as well that comes up. So how do you heal that, right? When you heal yourself and you're asking for a relationship, you find the same vibration with you. I'm not 100% in love with the person that you're talking to online. I feel like I need to go out, expand myself, and actually like get out of my comfort zone so that I can experience something new that's not safe. Safe is hanging behind a computer right now.
Yes.
And even if it's a group, like if you're going to find a group for friendships and then get out to do it. But I almost feel like I'm walking down the road, like I'm a grocery store. I don't know why it keeps coming up, but it's almost, or a department store. But I feel like I am in a public place and it just happens to fall into my lap. It's nothing that I am controlling or trying to get a hold of. And I see something with finances with this person that you're talking to. So I'm not 100% in love.
He needed money for food.
Yeah, I'm not 100% in love with this vibrationally with you and this person, but I feel like I need to get out into a public place and actually meet somebody. The challenge for you is getting out of your comfort zone to do so. But you can do it. Do you know a person named Betty?
Betty?
Yeah, Betty.
No.
Nobody in your family's named Betty?
No, I know Bubba, but I don't know Buddy.
Betty. Not a
Tty. That's my mother's.
That's your mother's name?
Betty.
Yes.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay. So know that you out. Ask her.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, know that she is guiding you.
For help?
Yes, and pushing you out. So ask her for help. Say, hey, I need you to bring this person to me.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not in love with the person that you're talking to online vibrationally. Sorry. But I feel like if you determine, oh my goodness. I said, if you go outside and you expand yourself, that you would be open up to new opportunities. I just feel like your mother would be supporting you in this. And I almost feel like pushing you out, kicking you, like, come on, just get it going. It's time. Don't hold yourself back. Opening up the door.
Yeah, I haven't been doing anything but staying home. So.
All right. Well, I'm going to push you out of your
husband recently. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my heart goes out to you. Very, very sorry about that. All right. Let me see what else I can find. Yes, like now is the time. You said, is it the right time? It is the right time. But it's almost about you growing, right? And you, they said not being so lonely, not being lonely.
Someone from my memory?
I said not being lonely.
I don't understand that. Well, is it somebody from my memory? Is that what you're saying?
No, they said do not be lonely and to get out there, to push yourself out there, that now is the time to do.
Yeah, you're right. I don't want to be lonely. I'm tired.
Yeah, this is the time for you to shine and to get out, but you have to get out of your comfort zone in order to do so. The
Okay.
person that I'm hearing, the other
I'll
name
do
that I'm
that.
hearing, is Larry. Larry. So keep that in your mind as well.
Larry,
Uh-huh. Larry.
Larry.
Yep, as an energy coming in. You get out there, meet new people, ask your mom for help. The name that I'm hearing is Larry.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. So that's awesome. See, people are still on the other side, right? They're still communicating with us. They're still talking to us, just like Betty was talking to her and trying to kick her out and help her, which is amazing. I want to invite you guys to my new program coming up. It's the Shamanic Energy Healer Program. It starts on September 20th, and we do go through all of our gifts. And we actually talk to our ancestors. That's the first thing that we do in order to just expand on who we are. And to just open up, we all have gifts, open up our gifts. Like now is the time to shine. So if you are interested in learning about shamanic energy healing practices, opening your gifts, clearing out the darkness and sending it into the light, I encourage you to go to thechakradeva.com. That's thechakradivA.com. And again, we begin September 20th. The other thing that I love to do is hold circles. So if you ever need support, either in healing or in guidance with other people, we have what's called the Sacred Healing Circle. So I encourage you to look at that membership. And it's beautiful because it's not, it's other healers that are holding space for other people. There's nobody in here that is above another person. We are all connected together. So if you wanted to lead a circle, you could do that. Again, I invite you to thechakradeva.com. I will be here next Thursday, and I'm just going to say thank you for being here with me. I'm very grateful for you, and I have a wonderful time. All right, you guys have a blessed week. See you soon.